Hi, welcome to another exciting adventure of Dad's Train Room. Today we're going to be putting all the modules together and fastening them in place, hooking up all the train tracks, and going through some of the nuts and bolts of the layout. We're also going to be doing a really great interview from the Pine Bluff Train Show at the Pine Bluff Train Museum, about a man who made the most interesting little modular table and had the most fun with it. So, let's get started.
What did one elevator say to the other elevator?
I got no idea. What did he say?
I'm coming down with something.
As you can tell, we have the hinges here, pins. We just align the tables, slide our pins in. It's just that simple. These are standard hinges, but just reamed out a little bit, and the pins now just slide straight in. Gives great alignment for the tables, easy hookup, no problems. Train layout is set up so that just one person, usually me, can pin all the tables together by himself. But I tell you, like most things, two people, a lot easier to do. So now that they're all pinned in place and everything's kind of lined up, tables are fairly secure to each other, I have these little guys. And these are little brackets that fit here, and they connect the rails together. The rails are pretty close to alignment right now, and they just make sure that they're lined up perfect. And since the electricity for the locomotives goes through the rails, in this case we're running DC, direct current, it allows each one of the tables to be connected. One of the advantages of this is, well, I don't have to go through and run individual wires each table saying I need electricity to each thing. This does it for me, and it makes a good enough connection that you don't have to really worry about the trains not working well on every one of the tables. Even my train yard, it runs very well on. To put them together, I have this little guy. It's called a ball end T-handled Allen wrench. Well, I couldn't find one that did what I wanted. So I bought a regular Allen wrench, and I 3D printed a handle for it. You don't need a lot of torque, but it allows you to just get in there with one hand and tighten everything up. Comes in very handy. Slide this underneath here. And screw it together. And as it clamps down on the rail, it also lines it up really nicely. All done. Now, just what? I don't know, about 1,000 more of these to go. Might be a slight exaggeration. Now that that's all together, the rails are aligned. There's a little bit of a gap. Not much, because I have my rails stopping just short of the edge of the table. That way when they're being moved around, they don't bump into anything and get pulled up. But the G scale is forgiving enough that it'll roll right over it. So. And it even gives that really good sound of the clickety-clack of the wheels like you would hear on a real railroad. At this point, now that the tables are all hooked up and the rails are hooked up, it's time to hook up our power supply. Our thing that makes the engines run. In this case, I've been using this guy for 25 years or so. It's held up pretty good. And I can even run 2 trains on it with no problem. 3 trains, that's really pushing it. But 2 trains, because every now and then, well, you just like to see everything run. To wire it up, to make it easier, I put this little trailer plug on it. This, 4 wires, I can hook up the train power and accessories when I want. And for everybody who always wanted to look behind the curtain and see how it was done, this mountain that I put in here on this table, its whole reason for being there is so that I can put this right underneath it. Out of sight, out of mind, I can run it no problem at the shows, and I don't have this big power supply just hanging out. All they see is this mountain, and usually I put deers or mountain lions on it or something like that, and everybody loves it a lot. This little control panel is for our siding that's on our table. This switch here turns on and off power to the siding, so if I want to park a locomotive there, I can turn off the power to it and then run everything around the main line. This switch here, that's for the electric switch to automatically move it for me. Some of my switches are manual and some of them are electric. This one is electric. I'm using an Aristocraft switch in this case with an Aristocraft automatic switcher. There are advantages to Aristocraft and there are advantages to L.G.B. Aristocraft is less expensive. L.G.B. is actually designed a bit better and works better. Here, you see this little yellow tab here. It's called an insulating block. I connect the 2 rails together with this, and that way I can turn off electricity to this rail right here. I don't have to turn it off to both rails, just one rail. That way I can put an engine on this and I can shut it down, and then I can still run another engine here, no problem. I pointed out on the other table how I had a yellow insulating block so I could turn off power to it. And about half the blocks on the table are yellow, and then the other half are white. The reason for this is the white ones are 3D printed. One interesting thing about this table and this water tower is it's real, it works. And when I say it works, I mean it has a bowl that goes inside with a tube that goes up through the spout, and I can fill this with water, and when you pull this down, water comes out. I don't use it for this, but it's one of those really cool things you can do.
Okay, go to the side.
Here you come.
Hi, I'm here with Steve. Hey Steve.
Hi, how are you?
Just fine. And we're talking about his part of the modular layout where it is a series of train tunnels. Would you like to explain a little about it?
Yeah, we created it so when kids are watching the trains, they try to figure out where the train's coming out next, and usually they're wrong. So they'll run to one side of the layout and the train comes out on the other, so it's almost like hide and seek with the train. So it goes into about 4 or 5 tunnels. One of them is a complete corkscrew, so it goes in on one side of the layout but comes back out on the same side. And so kids will run to the other side waiting for the train, and it pops out on the other side. Eventually they figure it out, but it takes them a while sometimes.
That just sounds like a lot of good fun.
It is, yeah.
What
it's
made
fun
you
just
think
to
of
stand
this?
here and watch them do that. Actually, we were trying to figure out something that fit on a holocore door, and Daryl actually did the design of it, and then I built it, or he did the plan, and then I built it, and we We had to modify it a few times while I was building it because of clearances and all. But eventually we got it to work the way we wanted to. So
Now the doors
makes for a lot of fun.
the doors you put it on, those are
It's a 32-inch by 80-inch hollow core door, just a standard hollow core door, 32 inches wide.
so that's all your tables are built on the same door, so they all can fit together.
3 of these are. The new one here is 1x4s cut down to 3 inches deep. All of these are 3 inches deep, and the hinges on the ends are fixed with a jig at the store, so any module could hook together anywhere.
Great.
On either end.
So everybody gets to do their own table. They all hook together.
And they all use Cato track, and they use the Cato joiners where the 2 doors hook together, the sliding joiners for Inkscape.
That just sounds wonderful. Well, thank you very much for your time.
All right. Documenting the train stuff.
Interview people on the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, the idea on this one was to have one that ducks in and out of tunnels and kids try to figure out where the train goes. We incorporated it actually goes into tunnels about 4 or 5 times. But under the mountain is a complete corkscrew here, so when it goes in over here, it makes one full circle and comes out on the bottom. So you'll see kids come, they'll go in over there and they'll run over there to find it, and then it comes over here.
I hope you've enjoyed yourself watching Dad's Train Room this time. I know it's a little technical this time, but for a lot of people that love model training, the nuts and bolts of how to make it work and make it do what you want is just as important as how to make it look the way you want it to look. So I thought I would share that with everybody. One of the really cool things about a modular layout is how you choose to make it go together and why you did the things that you did. So we've been working really hard. We got the tables in place. They're bolted together. They're all fastened. Everything's working really well. We just found out we've been invited to bring the table to the Mother's Day weekend celebration at the Bald Knob Train Depot, also known as Arkansas Travelers and Hobby. And so we're going to take the table and we're going to take it over there, and we're going to celebrate and have a lot of fun there. And as an Easter egg for anybody who watches Dad's Train Room, I have this diamond here. Now, don't think of it as a fake diamond. Think of it as real plastic. But for anybody who knows about it and asks me about it and knows where I'm going to hide it, it is yours. Like a treasure hunt. And I won't say where it's going. You'll have to find that out for yourself. That's all the time we have this week for I Caught Ya!
No, this is a hot drink, so I just thought I'd switch it out with this nice cool drink with this cool new mug.
This must be the new mug that we got in from our artistic design and prototype manufacturing department. We appreciate it very much. We give out really big fancy titles because we don't give out any money. It's a little secret I learned a long time ago. We'd like to thank them very much for these personalized Dad's Train Room mugs with our names on it. Each one of the boys got one, and a little train that goes around, and a really cool life philosophy of trainers. Thank you very much, Christina and Rose. We appreciate it. Until next time, bye!